Good day everyone, and welcome to where we are putting together solutions to those math and science problems that students are getting. In this video, we'll be looking at CSEC Mathematics, and specifically the topic of Consumer Arithmetic. We'll be looking at the past paper questions from May 2019 until the present. Feel free to like the video and add any comments down below so we can help create other videos that will assist you in whatever areas that you are struggling with. Don't forget to look at the description down below, where we have outlined the entire CSEC Math syllabus and the order we suggest that you go through all the past paper questions to get a better understanding of the entire subject area. Let's take a look at the 10 major topics in CSEC Mathematics, and this video looks at topic number 2, Consumer Arithmetic. This topic is tested for 8 questions out of 60 in paper 1, the multiple choice, and it combines with topic number 1, number theory and computation, in section 1 of paper 2, where that combined question is worth 9 marks. Some major topics that appear under the heading of consumer arithmetic includes profit and loss, or buying and selling, hire purchase, interest, both simple and compound interest, appreciation, depreciation, rates and taxes, utility bills, shopping bills, wages. May 2019, number 1B, Irma's take-home pay is $4,320 per fortnight, every 2 weeks. Each fortnight, Irma's pay is allocated according to the following table. Now let's recall, since a fortnight is every 2 weeks, and there are 52 weeks in the year, it means 2 into 52 will be 26 fortnights will make up the entire year. And if we look at our table, the items that she spends her money on includes rent, food, other living expenses, savings, giving her her grand total. Part 1. What is Irma's annual take-home pay? Assume she works all 52 weeks in any given year. So her annual pay will be 2 into 52, which gives us 26, times $4,320, which works out to be her annual salary of $112,320. Part 2. Determine the amount of money that Irma allocates for rent each month. So if we look at the table, we can tell that the total will be equal to those 4 items added up, rent plus food plus other expenses plus savings. And if we substitute what we know in there, it will give us 4,320 is equal to x plus 629 plus 2x plus 1,750. And as we look across that line, there's only one unknown, which is x, so we can solve for that. So let's simplify. 4,320 is equal to x plus 2x, which is 3x, plus 629 plus 1750 is 2,379. So if we carry that across, then 4,320 minus 2,379 will be equal to 3x. That simplifies to 1,941 is equal to 3x. So if we want to find for x, we carry the 3 across. So it will be 1,941 divided by 3, which works out to be $647. So this is the amount of money that Irma allocates to rent each fortnight. So if we want to change that to each year, then we just multiply by 52 over 2. And if we want to find out for each month, there are 12 months in the year, then it will be divided by 12. So the rent for each month works out to be 52 over 2 times 647 divided by 12. We're using our calculator, gives us $1,401.83. May 2019, number 1B, part 3 of the question. All of Irma's savings is used to pay her son's university tuition fees, which is $150,000. If Irma's pay remains the same and she saves the same amount each month, what is the minimum number of years that she must work in order to save enough money to cover her son's tuition? So tuition cost is equal to the savings, how much Irma is saving every fortnight, by the amount of fortnights. So if we substitute, then $150,000 will be Irma's savings of 1,750 times number of fortnights. So the number of fortnights will be 150,000 divided by 1,750, which works out to be 85.7 fortnights. So that is the amount of fortnights earner needs to keep saving that same amount in order to get exactly that amount of tuition. But the question is asking us to change it to years. Now let's recall 26 fortnights is equal to 1 year. So 1 fortnight will be 1 over 26. So if we have 85.7 fortnights, it will be 1 over 26 times 85.7. We're using simple ratio here. So that works out to be 3.3 years. And the question asks us for the minimum number of years. So the minimum number of years will be 4 years. May 2021, number 1, Part B. When Megan started working, she was paid $85 each week. So let's bring up a blue rectangle at the start of her job, and let's use that to represent 100% of her salary, which was $85. After a 6-month probationary period, her pay was increased by 20%. So let's bring up a yellow rectangle of 20% to show that that was her increase. How much was she paid each week after the increase? So they wanted to find her final salary after the 6-month period. So what do we know? We know at the start, all 100% is $85. So we can find for 1%. 1% will be 85 over 100. And at the end, the final salary after the 6-month period will be 120%, which is 85 over 100 times 120. So that gives us $102 as her new salary after the 6-month period. Part C. In 1965, the population of country A was 2,714,000. In 2015, the population was 3,663,900. Part 1A, write the population in 2015 correct to 3 significant figures. So if we look at that value of 3,663,900, the number with the most significant would be 3, and then the second most significant would be 6, and the third significant number, which is what we want to write it to, will be the next 6. So let's bring up a blue arrow under the second 6 to indicate the third significant figure. And if we are writing it as an approximation in terms of 3 significant figures, then we have to round it off. We're either going to remain with 366 and the rest being zeros, or 367. So how do we know which one? We check the number to the right of the 6. It's a 3, so that's smaller than 5. It remains 3,660,000. Part B, write the population in 1965 in standard form. So the population was 2,714,000. Let's convert it to standard form. That's 2.714 times 1 million. And standard form means that instead of writing 1 million, let's convert it to an indice. So it will be 2.714 by 10 to the power 6. Part 2. Determine the percentage increase in the population from 1965 to 2015. So the percentage increase would be the increase in the population compared to the population in 1965 times 100, because we're changing it to a percentage. And how do we get that? It will be the population in 2015 minus the population in 1965, all over the population in 1965. That's the comparison. Multiply by 100. Let's substitute. It will give us 3,663,900 minus 2,714,000 all over 2,714,000 times 100. And we have our calculators, so we just work out the numerator and multiply by 100 and divide by the denominator. And that works out to be 35%. Last part of the question, part D. The ratio of teachers to male students to female students in the school is 3 to 17 to 18. So let's bring up that ratio, T to MS to FS, male students and female students, 3 to 17 to 18. If the total number of students in the school is 630, so total number will be a combination of the male students and the female students. Determine the number of teachers in the school. So students, which are 17 and 18 parts, equal to 630. So one part will be 630 divided by 35. So 3 parts will be 630 divided by 35 multiplied by 3. And that works out to be 54 teachers. May 2022, number 1B. Children go to a rodeo camp during the Easter holiday. Miss Rika buys bananas and oranges for the children at the camp. Part 1. Bananas cost $3.85 per kilogram. Miss Rika buys 25 kilograms of bananas and receives a discount of 12%. How much money does she spend on bananas? So 1 kilogram of bananas costs $3.85. 25 kilograms of bananas will cost $3.85 times 25. So 25 kilograms of bananas cost $96.25. And the discount is equal to 12% of $96.25. So that is 12 over 100 times $96.25. That works out to be, using our calculators, $11.55. The final cost she pays for the bananas will be the initial cost minus the discount, which is $96.25 minus $11.55, which works out to be $84.70. Part 2. Miss Rika spends $165.31, inclusive of a sales tax of 15% on oranges. Calculate the original price of the oranges. So if we say the original price plus the tax will give us the final selling price. We know the original price was 100%, and 15% tax means the selling price was $115. And we also know the selling price was $165.31, and we don't know the original price. That's what we want to find. So let's use a ratio. Selling price would be 115%, which is equal to $165.31. So 1% is $165.31 divided by 115. As such, the original price, which is 100%, will be 165.31 over 115 multiplied by 100, which works out to be $143.75. Last part of the question, part 3. The ratio of the number of bananas to the number of oranges is 2 to 3. Furthermore, there are 24 more oranges than bananas. Calculate the number of bananas Miss Rika bought. So we know bananas to oranges is a ratio 2 to 3. Since there are more oranges than bananas, then we can say oranges minus bananas, which is 3 take away 2. That's 1 part, and that is equal to 24. So if we want to find out for bananas are 2 parts, will be 24 times 2, which works out to be 48 bananas. This brings us to the end of CSEC past paper questions in the topic of consumer arithmetic. In our first video in this playlist, we look at the first 5 years from 2009 until 2013, those solutions. In the second video, we looked at the next 5 years. And in this video, we looked from 2019 until the present. Don't forget to look at the description down below, as we've outlined the way to go through all the playlists of all the topics in the entire CSEC Math syllabus.